Now I know what you're probably thinking, how did Tizoc transfer his classic design and ideologies into the modern design that he has in Fatal Fury Set of the Wolves? That's something I want to dive into, what he kept the same, the negatives, and essentially what I like that they've changed for Tizoc. Yeah guys, I'm Panda, and I hope you guys be sure to subscribe to this video as we talk about the evolution from his 2D to 3D appearance. When it comes to Tizoc being a grappler, one thing definitely stayed the same, and that is his strike throw. He gets high damage off of his throw, which has definitely always been the thing, and his normals are still pretty chunky, still good for air and grounded poking, and in terms of defense, his normals not so much, and you have to rely on just defend SPD. Kinda like in the classic. Except one thing held back Tizoc, and I'll get this positive out of the way, the throw bug is gone! Of course it's gone, right? It's in the modern adaptation. I don't even need to talk about this, but you guys get how much of a big deal this is. That Tizoc can actually do his throw game plan to punish things now. He couldn't do that in the older game, and this is massive. However, one thing that is definitely lacking is the 360 buffer window. That's right, we're gonna get right into the negatives, and the first one is the 360 buffer window. It's very short. You can't do the walk-up tech with Tizoc, it's basically impossible. I've sat there and practiced it so many times, and I can do this consistently on every other game, including classic Garou Mark of the Wolves. I don't know what they've done, but they've messed with the buffer window, making it very difficult to do for a walking 360, and this is something I want to see change later on. Give us a better buffer window for those directions, that way you can do walk forward grab like you do in the classic. The other one of course is his throw range. I feel like his throws are designed very weirdly. Besides the quarter circle punch being a cool side swapping throw, awesome animation, the full 360 throw has like no range. EX, light, or heavy, it has no range. And the heavy one comes out in 5 frames, and they essentially have the same range as light and does more damage and gives you the same Oki, so I'm confused. It feels like there's no differentiating between these two throws. The EX is clear, there's a clear differentiation, which is that it's EX, it does a ton of damage, but the light and heavy, essentially you just use heavy, comes out in 5 frames, has the same range and does more damage. Like, it makes no sense to me. The other negative is that he's unfortunately lost his dash forward feint. That's right, in the classic game, he could do this too, which allows him to feint like mad and approach. In this game, he does not have that, meaning he cannot avoid highs and mids simply just by dodging. But do keep in mind, his game plan is still there and still works like classic Garou. He just doesn't have this feint, which was definitely a key tool. It's what I think made them very cool. But yeah, that's all the negatives I have with this character. That's about it. Positives, plenty of, trust me. And in terms of the neutral, as in everything he kept the same, it's basically the same Tizoc in terms of playing neutral, and in terms of threatening his classic powers, his strike throw and all that stuff. One positive I absolutely love is that he has hit confirms now. Yeah, that's right, he has actual hit confirms off of his crouching lights now, and his standing light. His standing light cannot link into each other at far range, but on the plus side, it does give you a light confirmed Poseidon wave. This is really good. This is really good, as it gives you a hard knockdown. Of course you can't really chase the Oki with it, it's kind of difficult, but in the corner it does give you a guaranteed active 2-pun. I hope I said that right. So in the end of the day, he's definitely designed very well in terms of his strike game now. It's a lot better. His throw game is also still very cool, right? He has access to his aerial throw, he has the SPD, he has the spin fall super for escaping the corner, and he has this cool version now of his side changing throw. I like this one a lot, if I'm honest. The normal version just giving you this like really cool animation as it puts him in the corner for good Oki. But the other thing that I like is that if you EX it, it actually gives a combo, which is very powerful. It does come out slower than your SPD, but it does make sense considering this is a tool that can give you a ton of screen space, good Oki, and a confirm for damage. One change that I absolutely love is that they made the elbow drop usable. Yes, that's right, the elbow drop is now usable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the elbow drop in the classic game was the worst special move in that game. No ifs, no buts, no coconuts. It was a bad tool. However, with the elbow drop, it is now an anti-air tool on the light version of it. When he goes up, that is an anti-air now. And when he comes down, he's -8, but on the heavy version where he steps back, does a little shimmy, it's -3, so this is actually a pretty decent tool to threaten if you want to beat a fireball, and it still plays into that classic, I'm going to dodge your attacks to hit you. One thing they've also done is BEAK. Now, BEAK was in the classic game, and when it came to using it in the classic game, it was actually pretty good for essentially getting in, threatening your strike throw, and avoiding highs. In this game, it still does that, but one thing they've changed is that they've made it -6 and -2 if you space it well. Meaning it's still a really good poke to threaten, and it's really good for confirmability, especially in this game. That's its main strength, is the fact that it's an amazing normal to confirm for great damage. But you gotta be careful, you can't use this up close anymore as it is -6 and punishable. The other positive I like is that we have more routings into Super, which was a big deal for me. I felt like his Super routings were very awful in the classic game, they never felt fun to me. But in this game, oh, it's awesome, and then the Super is so chunky, look at his hooks! He's hooking! That's had to be doing pull! I absolutely love it. I feel like they did a really good job with the supers, and especially this one, which I feel like it is an homage to Muscle Spark, Kinnikuman's finisher in the later ending of it. But I'm still get to that point. I'm still watching it. It's kind of good. It's kind of good. Iffy, but going. Another thing that I like is that they made his Light Poseidon Wave a very fun feint tool, and the same with this new tool that they gave him, kinda acting like Shermie's command grab from half screen. A nice 24 frame throw that will deal some solid damage and give you Oki, and if you EX it, you can do an elbow drop. It's very cool. But the main thing that I really like is that you can feint both that and the Light Poseidon Wave to approach and scare the opponent into your game plan. Yes, we like feints. Feints are fun on grapplers, right? You're seeing it here. You could do jab confirm into Light Poseidon feint into a full command grab for damage. One of my personal favorite plays is to do the light feint into 720 super, and the opponent goes to mash and they die for it. They've also given Tizoc a very cool mechanic that I'm a big fan of, right? He has back heavy punch and back heavy kick, which can now be charged and give you different properties. For example, normal heavy kick, -8 on block, and can only give real combos if it's a wild punish. However, if you do the charge version, a wild punish will lead to devastating damage, and it is very plus on hit. Allow for links if you're close enough. The same with this chop, except this isn't -3, this is +3 when charged. And when it hits, you can link another one with a feint. If you're very nasty with it, you gotta be clean, you gotta be immaculate, and it leads to very chunky damage. One thing that I like about his combo game is the fact that they allow you to do aerial combos with Tizoc, and I think that's very cool. You don't get to see that nowadays, and it's kind of fun. You get to do these EX Poseidon waves into his EX elbow drop that allows you to do EX active 2-pun. It's fun! It's very fun to do, and his close normals are very good for pressure. His feint pressure is also very good, and his light confirmability is nice. They turned up the confirmability, but the throw game they've unfortunately turned down in this game due to the lack of range and Tizoc being a slower character. It's kinda harder to threaten his throws, if I'm honest. His throw range feels very pitiful compared to the classic games or even the modern games that are about right now. And because he isn't as fast as he was in the classic game, it can be a bit harder to get in on those very pesky characters like Terry or Kane, who are very good at playing at full screen and approaching with the burn knuckle. However, the equalizer in this is of course BEAK, like I mentioned before. BEAK is an amazing tool for calling out those types of plays, because when they approach, you get an easy, hit confirmable wild punish. In terms of his evolution, I do feel like he's definitely upgraded, and there's a ton of things I absolutely love about him. But there are a few things that need to be changed. In my opinion, it's got to be that throw, we've got to give it better range, and I know he's not going to get his feint back where you do the duck. Would love to see it, but it is what it is, there's not much you can do about it. And he is still the great Tizoc. The Griffin, if you will, is still very good. So in my opinion, in this evolution, I give it a 2 big thumbs up, 5 big booms, or whatever it is. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'm going to be peacing out. Catch you in the next one.